Hi guys, thank you for joining me. This is lecture 4 in our epic lecture series. Today I only have a dozen words, so hopefully it won't be as long as last week's lecture. Are you ready to get this party started? Let's do it. The first one, I think you may already be familiar with it. It's a verb, ascend. Ascend just means, in my own mind, to go up or to rise. That's what I have. To rise through the air, like so. A hot air balloon. Have you ever ridden in a hot air balloon? I have not. Oops. I'd be scared to death. Oh my God. I have an example on your handout, guys. The climber began to ascend the Himalayan peak. I don't know for sure, but I guess this is Nepal. There are only 2 mountains that I want to climb. Halasan and Sangsang Ilchubang. The really big ones, the Titanic Mountains, I'm happy just to look at them. I don't feel the need to go to the peak, but certainly is beautiful. Guys, on your handout, notice I circled one of the examples. It has another meaning, to rise to a higher position in government or a company, for example. And this, guys, comes right from your handout here. You see where I am? After the king's death, so after the monarch's death, his son ascended to the throne in the normal order of succession. Past tense, ascended. Incidentally, guys, I don't have this on your paper, but commercial aircraft, so Korean Air, Asiana, they typically ascend to a flying altitude of 30,000 feet. And of course the opposite is descend. What's next? I like this one. It's a noun. Premonition. Please say it with me. Premonition. Premonition. My dear students, a premonition is a feeling. For me, it's usually in my stomach. I don't know why, but it could be your heart or your mind. A premonition is a feeling that something bad is going to occur, maybe in the near future. Let's see here. Oh, this is an old superstition, but again, guys, coming right from your handout here. When the black cat crossed her path, Ellen had a premonition of disaster. Can you hear the helicopter? Do you believe that? If a cat crosses your path, something bad will occur, it's bad luck? I myself do not. But more importantly, do you ever have a premonition that something is going to happen? I don't have this on your handout, but whenever I'm at the airport, or maybe the day before I have to go to the airport, I always have this premonition that my flight is going to be delayed or canceled, usually because of weather. I don't know why, but listen, I love you, Sarang Hamnida, but never go to the airport with me. I am equal to 10 black cats. Anyway, I digress. Premonition? I don't know if I'm saying it correctly. Yegam? Do you ever have a premonition? Just remember, guys, premonition, whenever you're making a sentence, it's usually connected with something bad. So, I have a premonition, blank is going to happen. And again, usually connect it with something not good. For example, you could say, I have a premonition, I'm going to win $1 million. Grammatically, it's okay, but it sounds funny to my ears because we typically think of winning money as a good thing. Anyway, so use that word with something bad. I'll be honest with you, my dear students, and this is not you, specifically you, but semester after semester, I often have a premonition that my students may not adequately prepare for the midterm exam. My dear students, I don't know if you can hear it, but there's a COVID-19 announcement in the background. There's speakers, so I don't know if you can hear it, but please try to ignore it. It's only for 1 minute. Okay, moving on, guys. This next one is a good one. It's an adjective. Indigenous. Please say it with me. Indigenous. You can do better. One more time with me, please. Indigenous. Indigenous. Do you guys know indigenous? What is that in Korean? Oh, hard. Wanseini. Am I saying it correctly, guys? Wanseini, or alternatively, tochagui. Students, whenever I hear the word indigenous, I immediately think of two things. Plants, indigenous plants, or indigenous animals. So I don't know why, but 99% of the time, when I hear that word, this is the picture that comes to my mind. Plants or animals. Indigenous plants, indigenous animals. Here we have a tiger, which I think is indigenous to Indo, and this is an orchid, and I honestly don't know where it's indigenous to. Maybe Indonesia, I'm not sure. But it can also include plants, animals, people, cultures, languages, religion. So keep an open mind. Like you probably think about plants and animals, but it has a kind of broad meaning. Take a look at this. Okay, in the United States, the society is heterogeneous, meaning there are people from all over the world, no exaggeration. Iranian, German, Swedish, African, Asian, of course. People from all over the world live and exist in the United States. However, there is only one people who are truly indigenous to the continent. Indians. My dear students, that word, Indians, has kind of gone out of use. A more polite term is Native Americans. They are indigenous to North America. In the 19th century, the US government slaughtered them. Do you understand? Men, women, and children. And they moved them to reservations. And they are still present, but people of European descent dominate government, almost every aspect of society. Incidentally, my dear students, I was born in the United States. My passport is Miguk. However, my grandfather is Dutch. My ancestry is Dutch. And that's true for all Americans. Everyone, except Native Americans, are from somewhere else. Africa, Asia, Europe. Now, having said that, I don't speak Dutch. Holland is a foreign country to me. My father took me there when I was a young boy. I enjoyed it very much, but I feel no connection. It's been, centuries. So the connection has been lost to the motherland. And you meet a lot of people in the United States who are of Italian descent or German descent. But remember, the only people who are truly indigenous to the North American continent, this is Canada. They're called Inuit. There's a slang term, I don't think it's very polite, they're called Eskimo. Have you heard that? They are indigenous to North America, to Canada. Cute. She is indigenous to Canada. Here's a photograph. You've probably seen similar. This is in Canada, and the Inuit people are building a shelter out of snow and ice. You probably know it's called a igloo. Really harsh environment. They are indigenous. Anyway, going back to animals, in Hoju, they have these giant mice that jump around. Are they vermin? These marsupial, they are indigenous to Australia. Have you ever been to Hoju? I have not. But I would like to see these mice. Oh, guys, speaking of Hoju, again, we typically think about plants and animals being indigenous. In Australia, take a look at this. Aboriginal. They are the only indigenous people to the continent. Everyone else is from England, Scotland, Western Europe, so on and so forth. They are indigenous to Hoju. Remember it. I would like to go to Australia. This is a photograph of Africa. Take a look at these trees. They're called baobab trees. Baobab. You don't have to know that for the test, but they are indigenous to Africa. I think they're really cool. By the way, earlier I mentioned languages. You and I, we always speak English together. Can you guess where English is indigenous? Yeah, of course, England. Guys, please don't get angry with me. Take a look at this. This is a photograph of Japan. And this is a Shinto shrine. And here's one, a large one in Tokyo. It's called Meiji Jingu. Shinto is the state religion of Japan. Shinto is the indigenous faith of the Japanese people. Again, don't get mad at me. I'm just trying to make a good example using a vocabulary word. Okay, so that's indigenous. Moving on, guys. This next one, can you hear the ambulance? Okay, anyway, guys, this next one is a really good one. Please repeat after me. Altruistic. Can you hear the ambulance? Guys, I'll tell you a secret. I love filming outdoors, but I'm at the mercy of the elements, whether it be sunlight or cold weather, a helicopter or an ambulance. So anytime that happens, please just bear with me. Anyway, guys, look, this is the second page. Altruistic. It's an adjective. Please say it with me. Altruistic. I think you can do better. One more time. Altruistic. Altruistic. You don't have to know this, but the noun is altruism. It just means, in my own mind, kind. That's it. Compassionate. Caring for others. What do I have? Altruistic, showing a wish or desire to help others, even if it results in a disadvantage for you. It's kind of a technical definition. If your behavior or motives are altruistic, you show concern for the happiness or well-being of other people rather than yourself. By the way, altruistic has a very positive connotation. Let's see here. Look at the example, guys. I didn't circle it here, but I did underline this strange word, alms. Do you see where I am? Giving alms to the poor is considered an altruistic action. So take a look here. Alms to the poor. No, there's a glare. Can you guys see that? So she is giving them alms. Alms, historically, it means money or food. Giving money or food to the poor. So alms to the poor. I know you can't see it very well. Anyway, guys, if someone is altruistic, they are just compassionate. They are caring for others. And for me, that quality is very attractive. Whenever I see that, someone displaying altruism, I'm really attracted to that person. I admire them deeply. It doesn't even have to be someone I know personally. If I just see an altruistic act, you know, if I'm sitting somewhere and I see someone being kind to someone else, it makes me feel good. I really admire them. In Korean, 이타적인. Is my pronunciation okay? 이타적인. Altruistic. Kind, generous, compassionate. Say it with me once more, guys. Altruistic. So, he is altruistic. She is altruistic. I want to be altruistic. I think it's very admirable. Okay, anyway, that's that. Altruistic, kind, compassionate. Next one, super easy. You may not know it though. Please repeat after me. Peruse. It's a verb. Peruse. One more time. Peruse. Very simply, it means to read. That's it. To read. On your handout, I have to read carefully, but in my own mind, it just means read. A book, peruse a book, peruse a magazine. I have the latest issue of the Korea Times. Peruse the newspaper. What does that mean? Peruse the newspaper, or peruse a newspaper. Read the newspaper. Again, on your handout I have read carefully, but In my own mind, it means read casually. Incidentally, my dear students, I have a photograph here of the New York Times. I have the New York Times application on my smartphone. It does cost money, but the English in the New York Times is exquisite. It really helps my English. I also read the BBC, which is for free, but the New York Times has really fine English. I mean, really, it's 10 times better than my own English. So if you're ever interested in reading current events, or if you just want to improve your English, I highly recommend the New York Times. Of course, you can get a newspaper, or you can pay for the application on your smartphone. And then you can peruse at the New York Times with Professor. In Korean, peruse, I'm not sure if this is correct. Sudakhara? That sounds strange to me. Jangdakhara is better, I think. Jangdakhara? Peruse. What does that mean, peruse? Read. Find it on the test, guys. Peruse. And by the way, absorb that into your English. I mean, that's just good English. Okay, moving on, guys. We have some company. Hi. Please join our class. Who are they? Do they want to learn English? No, I don't think so. Okay, this next one, guys, it's a good one, and I want to spend some time on it. It can be a noun or a verb. Please repeat after me. Gleam. Gleam. Say it with me, please. Gleam. Good. One more time. Gleam. Okay, so the noun, a faint, soft light. My dear students, whenever I hear the word gleam, I just think light. But take a look. It looks like this. The gleam of a match. Now I want you to take a good look. Not just the fire, but look around it. You see this? That's kind of gleam. 이해했어요? Our class is famous. Many people want to participate. The gleam of a candle. Now guys, again, I'm not talking about the fire here, but look at the kind of glow around it, that soft, faint light. 이해했어요? You see it? Good. There are many examples. Street lamp. Also, guys, it can be reflected light, like in water. Take a look at this. This is a famous painting by Vincent van Gogh. Incidentally, this painting came to Seoul. I saw it in person in Korea. Take a look at this. So here's the stars and light, city lights, and look at the gleam in the water. I think this was painted in France. Can you see that? I'm sorry about the glare. The gleam in the water. I mean, there's a million examples. This is just rainy street. And you can see the gleam on in the water reflected. Same thing. Here. Got it? That's gleam. Anyway, just light, soft light. Okay. Oh, I almost forgot. Sometimes people use gleam referring to their eyes. Yes. Now, my dear students, what does gleam mean? Light. So, if you have a gleam in your eye, you have light. You know, a little light in your eye. I had some difficulty finding this, but take a look. Oh. Now, okay, she's pretty, but pay close attention to her eyes. Do you see the gleam in her eyes? My dear students, I want you to use this word. You can make a simple sentence and say, you have a gleam in your eye. Or she, if you want to talk about the past tense, she had a gleam in her eyes. She had a gleam in her eyes. Or you can make it present. Your eyes are gleaming. What do I have here? Gleam. They shine in a way, and I underlined it in your handout here, guys, to express a particular emotion, usually happiness. What do I have here? If your eyes gleam, they look bright and show that you are excited and happy. Take a look at this. Oh, here's a little girl. Yeah. Do you see the gleam in her eye? You probably see the glare in her eye. You see that? I'm looking for the gleam in your eye, and I don't see it. Okay, so gleam, oh my God. Help me pronounce this. Awesome. Awesome? Awesome, hold on, I can do it. Awesome Pule Han Bit. Did I say it correctly? Hold on, let me try again. Awesome Pule Han Bit. Got it? Good. Find it on the test. Gleam. What is gleam? Light. Okay, moving on. Okay, we're halfway finished, guys. This next one, not hard, and you might already know it. Dense. Dense just means, in my mind, thick. In Korean, this is a little tricky for me to say. Bekbekhan? Bekbekhan? So let's see here. So here's a photograph, and you can see the leaves are dense. Some sunlight is shining through. In a dense jungle, you might not see the indigenous wildlife. Dense jungle. These are just photographs of dense foliage, trees, vines. Can you see that? Looks very dense. Here's a couple of people walking through a dense jungle. Yikes. I have a couple of examples here. They cut a path through the dense jungle. You see where I am, guys? It's just the first example. Yogi. They cut a path through the dense jungle. What does that mean, dense jungle? Thick. Look at the second example. You can expect the fog to be quite dense tonight. Oh God, this is my worst nightmare. Can you see this, guys? Look at the fog. Look how dense it is. What is dense? Thick. Oh God. Oh, this is my nightmare. This always happens to me. Can you see the plane? You can barely, it's barely perceptible in the thick fog. I can barely see it. There it is. The fog is dense. Okay, so Bekbekhan or Jitin? Jitin? I'm not really sure. I think the first one is better. Okay, let's go to the next one, guys. You probably know it. It's an adjective. Customary. Customary. Please say it with me. Customary. Comes from the word custom. What do I have here? Usually done, something that's usually done in a particular situation or a particular place or time. Customary is just used to describe things that people usually do in particular circumstances. So again, guys, this comes right from your handout. It is customary to hold the door open for someone who's entering the building behind you. Do you do that? Incidentally, I think that's altruistic whenever you hold the door open for the person behind you. I always do that. Anyway, of course, what is customary in one society may not be in another. That's not right or wrong. It's just different expectations. Whenever I go through a door, I always hold the door open for the person behind me. Take a look at this, guys. This is a photograph of a wedding, and I'm not sure. Maybe you can help me, guys. This man, it's customary to bow. This man is bowing. I'm not sure. Help me, guys. Is this his father, or is it his wife's father? I'm guessing it's his wife's father. Anyway, customary to bow to your father-in-law. Also, guys, I really like this. In Korea, it is customary to give a cash gift to the newlyweds. There's a name for it, and I can't remember. What's it called? I don't know. Rats. Do you guys? There's a name for it. Boo? Something. I can't remember. Something. I can't remember now. But anyway, there's a word for it. I just can't remember. Anyway, a cash gift is customary, as you may know, to give some money. I read, by the way, the average Korean a year gives, I don't know what this is in won, but $1,400 a year in wedding gifts. So, you know, not just one wedding, but over the course of a year, they might go to, 6, 7, 8 weddings. And, depending on their status, if they're a student or if they're a professional, on average, the average man or woman gives $1,400 a year. That really shocked me. Incidentally, you might know this from Hollywood movies, but at weddings in America, it's customary to throw rice. Have you ever seen that? We throw rice in the air. Very strange. I don't know why. I prefer cash myself. Okay, customary. In my own mind, guys, it just means usual. In Korean, I need your help here, guys. gwalejagin, gwalejagin. 이해하세요? Just means usual. Okay, moving on, guys. This next one, this might be the hardest one on today's list. Actually, it's not that hard, but it's a noun. Whenever I hear this word, I think about physical science. So please say it with me. Fulcrum. Fulcrum. I know you know what it is. Take a look. Again, it reminds me of physical science. So, yogi, this is the fulcrum, like of the beam. However, it has another meaning. Something, now pay close attention, something that plays a central or essential role, key word there, guys, essential role in an activity, event, or situation. And I have an example here which I circled on mine, on my handout. Same as yours, by the way. For example, research is the fulcrum of the academic community. So it plays a critical role, central role in the academic community. You remember this whenever we were kids, the seesaw or teeter-totter. Again, here's the fulcrum. But guys, don't think about that on the test. Fulcrum just means critical role. What is that in Korean? I'm not sure, but in Korean I think it's Jeju. Look at the next one. Easy. It's a noun. I know you know this one. In Korean I think it's landmark. Landmark? Landmark. An object or feature of a landscape or town that is easily seen or recognized from a distance, especially one that enables someone to establish their location. For example, can you think of a landmark in Seoul? What about Namsan Tower? Is that a landmark? Of course it is. My dear students, I'm embarrassed, but there is a gold building in Seoul. I can't remember the name of it. It's called Building 63, 64, 60 something. I'm embarrassed, I can't remember. I actually went to a wedding there. One of my Busan friends got married there. I was cajoled into going. Do you remember cajole? Persuaded, I was convinced. Secretly, I did not want to go to the wedding. Hello, doggy. Such a fine dog. Yes, welcome to class. Anyway, landmark. Can you think of any landmarks? It doesn't have to be Korea. It could be anywhere in the world. I don't have a photograph, but the Eiffel Tower comes to mind. What about this? New York City, World Trade Center. There's quite a few landmarks in New York. Statue of Liberty. My dear students, believe it or not, when I was a young boy, I went to New York City and I specifically asked my father, I said, Dad, can we please go to the top? And we did. The year was 1986. Your professor has been here. People say the World Trade Center is not great architecture, and that might be true. However, they were instantly recognizable. I mean, they're in so many movies, and whenever you see the Twin Towers, you knew that you were looking at New York. Here's another photograph of New York. This is the Empire State Building. I've never been there, but I would like to go. And in the background is the new World Trade Center, also a landmark. I think once class is finished, we should take a field trip to New York and visit these landmarks. By the way, my dear students, landmark, it does not have to be a building. It can be a natural landmark. For example, Sangsangyil-jubong. That's a landmark. In Hoju, in the center of the continent, there's this red rock. It's called Uluru. It has an old name, named by the people of European ancestry. It was called Ayers Rock, but the indigenous people, the Aboriginal people, they have their own name for it, and it's called Uluru. Anyway, it's a landmark in Central Australia. Quite beautiful, remarkable. Anyway, It doesn't even have to be big. It could just be, you know, a tree. A prominent tree on the side of the road. You know, that could be a landmark. If you live in a small town, can you think of a landmark? Oh, I forgot I had this. Okay, so guys, I grew up in the US state of Florida. It's on the Gulf of Mexico. And my mom's house is about 20-25 minutes from the beach. And at the beach, there's a water tower in the shape of a beach ball. Can you guys see it? Take a look. Anyway, this is a local landmark in my hometown. I've been here 10,000 times. This is a same photograph, just photograph up close. Again, it's a water tower in the shape of a beach ball. Professor. Oh, by the way, last year I went to Gangneung. It was my first time, and I really liked it. But one interesting thing I noticed, and I went to Jeju this summer, and I went swimming at Hyupche Beach and Jungmun Beach in Jeju. There are lifeguards, and if you swim too far, they'll blow the whistle and like say, you know, come closer to shore. But in Miguk, guys, if you want to swim to England, no one's going to stop you. You'll just die. There's no one going to prevent you from swimming to Africa if you want to try. I thought that was interesting. Aww, home. Actually, my dear students, this makes me nostalgic, and I won't talk about this long, but the beach in Florida is beautiful. The sand is white, like sugar. However, there's nothing else there. I'm saying the beach is beautiful, but there's not much else to do except swim. So anyway, got off subject there. That's landmark. Let's move on. Next one, easy. It's a noun. Demise. Please say it with me. Demise just means death. Usually someone in a high position in society. In my own mind, it just means death. Their demise. Scott. What do I have here? Death, especially of a person in a lofty position, just means high position. Let's see here. Trying to think of another example. Demise does mean death, and I want you to concentrate on that definition. But just so you know, sometimes they talk about like the death in a metaphorical way. For example, oh, the demise of... I'm trying to think of an example. Oh, students, do you remember the old hand phone BlackBerry? Do you remember that? In the early 2000s, late 1990s, it was the #1 phone to have. It was before smartphones. Anyway, we could talk about the demise of BlackBerry. There's a car coming by. 이해했어요? The death of the company. BlackBerry. I'm trying to think of another example. Listen carefully. The demise of Park Geun-hye. I don't mean her physical death, but the death of her political career. 이해했어요? The demise of Park Geun-hye. 이해했어요? Again, I'm not trying to be political, just making an example sentence. It means death, but it can be used in other ways. So the demise of a company, the demise of someone's career, and so on and so forth. Let's see here. Demise in Korean, saga. Next. Oh, this is the last one. Good. Of course, I've been talking too long. Guys, I really like this word. It's an adjective. Please repeat after me. Penultimate. Please say it with me. Penultimate. You know, my dear students, the first time I heard this word, I thought incorrectly. I thought it meant awesome, like ultimate, like the ultimate experience. Penultimate, like super daebak. Nope, I was wrong. Penultimate means second to last. Not last, but second to last. In Korean, oh, hard, very difficult. Ge tesa do ban jewi. Hey guys, do you like Harry Potter? It has been enchanting readers young and old for more than 20 years. There are 7 books in the series. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. My dear students, this is the penultimate book in the Harry Potter series. Harry Potter and the Half-Blood Prince. That's what it looks like on the back. You got it? The penultimate book in the series. So, what does that mean? Second to last. Not the last one, but second to last. I'll give you another example. Let's see here. I don't know how many chapters there are. I didn't know this, guys, but in this book, there are 30 chapters. So, chapter 29 is the penultimate chapter. What does that mean? Penultimate chapter. Second to last. That's it. All right, guys. I guess I'll stop the video here. Great to see you, and I look forward to seeing you soon. Goodbye, guys.